What's going on, MJ traders and investors? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Happy Monday. It's Monday, March 25th. Hope you had a great day and weekend. In this video, we're going to be discussing Auxly up 75% today. We're going to take a look at their Q4 and full fiscal 2023 earnings. We'll do a review and then we'll pull up the chart. I'll give my thoughts and opinions. I mentioned to Pow Group private members, I think about a week or two ago, that it was going to be interesting to see these results. And this is a company that very high risk, but very high reward. And there was actually Ernst & Young, the auditor, issued a going concern. So we're going to go over all of this and more. Before we get to it though, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. And it doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. As always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And full disclosure, I do own Auxly in my portfolio. It's a very small position, and I think it's worth the risk. If this is a company that can turn it around, I think it's possible that it gets potentially acquired by another company. So there's M&A opportunities still needed in the space and consolidation needed. So that's very possible as well. But I think if anybody can turn it around, Auxly is one of them. They have great products, and they're really, I think they're top 5 producer. So we're going to take a look at that here in a moment. But I think this company has a very good chance of pulling out of this rut that they're in. And like I said, this could be a very lucrative opportunity. But again, not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. But I think with a very small investment, it could reward investors heavily. So make sure to follow us over on X as well. And the handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. Auxly reports fourth quarter and full year 2023 financial results and provides outlook for 2024. And all amounts are in Canadian dollars except otherwise stated. If we take a look at the highlights here, we'll go through real quickly. So record net revenue is $101.1 million for the full year 2023, an increase of 7% compared to 2022. Fourth quarter net revenues of $26.9 million, which did beat estimates. So if we take a look at the earnings estimates here, they are forecasting 24 million. It came in at 26.9 million, and they didn't have any estimate on EPS, but it came in at negative 0.05. So there was a loss, but beat in terms of revenues. So that was great to see. And like I said, stock was up about 75% today, and off of the lows at 1 penny. Like I said, I've been buying down around these levels, but you can see here we're up over 250%. So you can see trading view at an estimate of 0, and it came in at negative 0.05. So still a loss, but trimming their losses and beat there in terms of revenue. We'll go through a little bit quicker here. Achieved positive adjusted EBITDA of 1.5 million and positive cash flow from operations of 8.2 million in 2023, including generating 7.8 million in cash. And they have industry-leading margins as well. I said that, in the industry, the average is around 40. You would like to see it around 40, 50, and anything higher than that is exceptional. But a lot of companies, like some of the more value, SNDL and High Tide, their profit margins are only sitting around an average of around 25%, right? So that's great margins. And with excise tax and everything coming up, improvements to that, potentially April 16th is the federal budget and here in Canada, so we could potentially switch from a percentage instead of a flat fee, which would be huge. And I'm hearing rumblings of around 10% excise tax, so that could add hundreds of millions of dollars, if not tens of millions or a few million, to some of these bottom lines, right? Auxly being a lower producer, maybe a few million, right, might add to their bottom line. But names like Tilray, Irwin Simon said it could add like $70 to $80 million to their bottom line, right? And almost a third of their income is going towards excise taxes. Even Organogram said that. So we'll take a look at their excise tax here in just a moment. But sales, general, and administrative, so SG&A, declined by over 17% compared to the previous year as the company continued to enhance and expand its product portfolio. Exited 2023 as the 5th largest LP in Canada by share of market based on total recreational retail sales, securing 5% of the total market. Maintained leadership in national vape sales, so their vapes are great, especially those new Back 40 vapes, all-in-one vapes. You can recharge them and everything as well. They're really, really, really good and pretty cheap as well. Securing the number 3 LP position in Canada and holding a top 4 in all SKUs positions in Ontario. So we'll go through. They extended the maturity date of the Auxly Leamington's credit facility as well, and they improved the company's balance sheet and financial position by securing the support of a strategic partner, Imperial Brands PLC, through Imperial's election to convert 123.4 million of its debt, including accrued interest outstanding under the 4% unsecured convertible debenture of the company due September 2025, 2026. And by Imperial in exchange for 241 million and change shares of Auxly, increasing its holdings to 19.8% of Auxly. And I did a post, I posted on X, formerly Twitter. If you scroll down, I said, Canopy Growth has Constellation Brands, Kronos Group has Altria Group, Organigram has British American Tobacco, Auxly has Imperial Brands. Noticing a trend, and that trend is big alcohol, big tobacco, and LPs. So that's great to see. Almost 20% ownership of Auxly at this point. And I actually used to do some work for their subsidiary Dozecan in Prince Edward Island when I lived in the East Coast. Huge facility out there, and it's absolutely massive. But great to see the island getting some of that, getting some of those adding jobs. Right, this is what MJ does: is add jobs and taxes. Obviously, look at these excise taxes. This is insane. So net revenues, where is it here? We want to see. I thought it was right there. Okay, yeah, it was one more down. Results of operations. So their revenues were 151 million for the year, and excise taxes were 50 million. So total net revenues was 101 million. So 101 million, but 50 of it went to, so basically a third went to excise taxes, right? So there was a going concern that was issued, but again, if there's no, there's no coincidence that, I don't think it's a coincidence that we're having rescheduling to Schedule 3 potentially in the US, and the removal of 280E, which is going to add hundreds of millions of dollars to these balance sheets for these MSOs and producers in the US. And right around the same time, we could get April 16th, like I said, next month, we could find out whether or not it's a percentage fee. And this is going to add a ton of capital to these companies' bottom lines. And as they're trimming losses and starting to ramp up, Ontario doubling its store count from 75 to 150 is only going to help combat and convert from the illicit market to the legal market. There could be improvements to other things like selling in pharmacies, selling, improvements to packaging and labeling, marketing, just like advertising. We still can't do traditional advertising. So there's so much growth ahead, it's not even funny. But we'll go through some of the key points here. So 40% gross margin. Wow, that is insane compared to 30% in 2022. So their net income loss was 54 million and adjusted EBITDA 2.294 million. So here's the shares outstanding. So in order to get the loss, we can just bring up our calculator here, 54,020. So 54 million divided by shares. That's a lot of shares. For this is as of December 31st, 2023. Perfect. So 194,829. So there you go. Negative 0.05 for EPS. That's where they got that number. So if we go through cash and cash equivalents, 15.6 million. So they are dwindling. I mean, it's up higher than it was a year prior, but still dwindling. But again, when we see that improvement to excise taxes, potentially here in Canada, that's going to be massive. And look at their debt, 142 million. So they need to get out of this rut that they're in ASAP. And like I said, with all of the the catalysts and fundamental changes that are coming to regulation and things like that, and provincial changes with like Ontario doubling their store cap, there's so much growth it's not even funny, right? So I do think that they have a good chance of turning the ship around. But look at that excise tax, like that has to change, right? 151 million and 50.68 million went to friggin' excise taxes, right? It's insane. So that has to change. So yeah, going through a little bit quicker. I guess there's the weighted average shares outstanding, basic and diluted. So that would be, and this is for the whole year here. Yeah, for the year ended. So for the whole year was negative 0.04. But yeah, great margins overall. Decent report, not going to lie. Like they're starting to turn things around. If we can get that improvement to excise taxes. And I'm not going to go through this entire article. You can do so on your own time if you so choose, but I just wanted to go over some of the main important things. But one thing I wanted to bring up was the outlook as well. So in 2023, Auxly committed to improving its earnings performance. The company is pleased to achieve its goal of becoming adjusted EBITDA profitable for the entire fiscal year while maintaining its leadership position in Canada, in the Canadian MJ market. The company's high-level objectives for 2023 were, and it goes over it. Yeah, there's a lot. SG&A continues to be, and they pause their conference calls as well until further notice. In 2024, the company remains dedicated to sustainable growth, improving profitability, and an excellence of our people. The company will prioritize focused and efficient growth in its key product categories, vape, pre-roll, dried flower, and continue to optimize and improve distribution and sales of its products. It will continue to foster a collaborative team environment and pursue continued improvements in efficiency to reduce costs and deliver strong gross margins and increase profitability. The company will also pursue opportunities to strengthen its balance sheet. The company has a clear focus on its growth trajectory, and as it continues to invest in its future, it stands on the strong foundation of the industry-leading capabilities, including state-of-the-art facilities, outstanding and dedicated employees, and Auxly's collective mission to help our consumers live happier lives by delivering quality products that they trust and love. And then there was the article here from MJ Biz Daily. So auditor flags going concern risk as MJ firm reports smaller loss. Auxly record 2023 sales helped substantially improve its net loss, but the auditor flagged a significant doubt over the company's ability to continue as a going concern. In a note to shareholders attached to Auxly's annual financial statement, accounting company Ernst & Young said that the company had a total cash and cash equivalents of $15.6 million, as I mentioned, and negative working capital of $41 million as of December 31st. That and other matters indicate that the material uncertainty exists that may cast significant doubt on the group's ability to continue as a going concern, Ernst & Young said. A similar warning appeared in Auxly's 2022 annual financial statement. In the financial year ended December 31st, 2023, Auxly's net loss was $44.5 million and improved compared to the company's $130.3 million loss in 2022. Toronto-based business saw revenues jump 7% year over year. Gross revenue from MJ products amounted to $151.8 million, of which $50.7 million was sent to the government to pay federal excise tax. Like, that is crazy. That has to change, right? Like, no one's talking about this, right? There's, the Canadian market isn't profitable, blah, blah, blah. It's like 50.7 of their 151 million went to the government for federal excise tax. Like, that is insane. Auxly achieved positive adjusted earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, as I mentioned, for the first time in fiscal 2023, amounting to $2.3 million. That's a 393% improvement over the previous year's negative EBITDA of $783,000. The company also reported positive cash flow from operations, $8.2 million. For the first time in our corporate history, we achieved full-year adjusted EBITDA profitability, broke around $100 million in net revenue, and generated positive cash flow from operations, said CEO Hugo Alves in a statement. We focused on optimizing our business and resulting in a meaningful cost savings and industry-leading margins, all done while delivering quality products and meeting the ongoing demands of our consumers. Auxly said it finished 5th in Canada's top producer. Subsequent to Auxly's year-end, the company said it strengthened its financial position by entering an agreement with Auxly's Leamington facility, as I mentioned as well. And then they talk about Imperial Brands, their position of 19.8%. We are positioned to succeed in the current MJ environment and to continue growing and thriving as the market matures, Alf said. In 2024, we will remain focused on sustainable, profitable growth and passionately committed to our consumers. Auxly said the Canadian MJ industry continues to face challenges, including fierce competition and continued fragmentation, ongoing price compression, oppressive taxation, a robust illicit market, which again, doubling the store count in Ontario, whatnot, from 75 to 150 should help. But as we just continue to see time go on and prices roll, like the roll down in prices and the better quality products, it's just going to help drive and convert those illicit consumers over to the legal market. Restrictive regulations which impede its ability to compete with the illicit market, absolutely, right? We need to get, and then they're looking at working on getting edibles increased from 10 milligrams to 100 milligrams, which we know they're very big in edibles as well. Despite these challenges, the company said it has seen improvements in its revenues, gross margins, and material improvements in adjusted EBITDA, resulting from significant reductions in its supporting cost structure, Auxly said. As I mentioned, $15.6 million in cash left. So we'll take a look at the chart here. So like I said, after the low there around 1 penny, we are now up about 257%, and we're just starting the monthly bounce now. So we have a lot of work to do to confirm a monthly uptrend. We still need to top out and then form a higher low and a higher high. So we're definitely a laggard. What's one thing that I noticed today is that we're seeing a little bit of rotation as well. So CGC, ACB, OGI, we're all down 19, 14, and 19%, 14%, 7%. Respectively. And what usually happens is after these big names run, like your CGCs, your Auroras, your Organograms, your Tilrays, your SNDLs, High Tides, not so much High Tide, they're not getting as much of the retail attention or volume. But after those, tier ones, it's usually the tier twos and the tier threes that start to run. Love also, Canara Biotech was catching a bid as well, and may even continue to catch a bid as stock has been kind of dormant. And like I said, money usually rotates, right? And like I said, money today, we were up 75%, while a lot of CGC for comparison was down at the close about 20%. So a little bit of money rotating in my opinion. And rightly so. I mean, like I said, this is a decent report. If they can just get improvements to excise taxes and continue to scale and drive profitability, it's looking really, really good. And they could potentially be a buyout target as well. But we do have EMA 26 on the monthly coming up, and that's sitting at 7 cents. So that could be our next target here in the short term. We do have resistance on the price action at 4.5 cents. So get above that, then we have a lack of resistance till about 7 cents. And if we can top out there, come down, form a monthly high or low, and then a higher high, we could be gearing up for the first ever monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross as well, coming off monthly oversold. So it's looking like the bottom very well could be in, and wouldn't want to go much lower than a penny because you're basically as low as you can go. So in my opinion, this is well worth the risk, right? Like I was adding down, around a couple pennies and things like that, just kind of averaging down, and that increased I think I'm sitting close to 50,000 shares at the moment. So just imagine if you bought it at 1 penny and it goes back to all-time highs, that's almost 300x, right? The all-time high was $2.97. So that's 297x essentially, almost 300x. So that means $1,000 investment into $300,000 might not get there. Like I said, it could be a buyout target, but even if this thing goes back to 50 cents or $1, that's 50x or 100x potentially. Even 25x is phenomenal, right? $1,000 into $25,000, and the most I can lose is 1,000. Sign me up, right? So this is, again, not telling you to buy, sell, or hold, but I thought it was well worth the risk in my opinion. But still need to confirm a monthly higher low and a higher high, and like I said, target that EMA 26. We're looking pretty decent here on the weekly time frame. Saw a bull cross of the stochastic and the MACD, and we're well above the 10-week moving average now, but very illiquid name at the moment. Not a lot of volume in this name. And then I just want to see what the volume was today, actually. So we have, in terms of shares, there was 5.67 million. So we'll get our calculator here. 567 million. We'll just do a quick. 567 million. And then we'll just say times 0.03 on average. So yeah, only like $170,000 traded today, Canadian, right? So not a lot of money at all. But in terms of the weekly moving averages, we also have the 100 weekly there at 3.5 cents essentially. So we're right there bumping our heads, and we have a lack of resistance to our 200 at 14 cents. And we're back above all our daily moving averages, and we're seeing a golden cross with the 50 just about to cross the 200-day moving average. So it's looking good. Like I said, I think we could easily be heading up to around 5 cents. And then next stop would be 7 cents. And then if we can get over that, there's a lack of resistance. Things could get pretty nutty up to about 14 cents. So congrats to the bulls. Congrats to who bought the dip. And let me know in the comment section below if you hold Auxly, if you think they're going to be able to turn it around. What do you think of this report? And just imagine if there's an improvement to excise taxes. 50 million of their 150 million went to excise taxes. Crazy. All right. Have a great night. It's Rob with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.